Shaping and Cultivating Your Mind. Charles Sapong. My Life's Thesis. Act Based on Wisdom. Act Based on Wisdom 2019. Some of the ancient Greek philosophers called the point of life eudaimonia. It's commonly translated as happiness, but I believe a more accurate translation would be fittingness. How well your actions match your gifts, match who you are. From Walking on Water by Perik Jensen. Keywords: psyche, to breathe, function, wisdom, virtue, divine state and protection. How to find function /talent /dream job /work /hobby. One must be previously be pregnant with its wisdom and crave to give birth to it. In other words, one cannot acquire knowledge of anything without being primarily in love with this knowledge. Thus, if a student wants to draw any knowledge of love from a theoretical description similar to that of diotima, he/she must know love primarily in an empirical way. He/she must be in love with the knowledge of love. You can replace knowledge of love with any hobby, for example knowledge of teaching, knowledge of computer programming, etc. Empirical, concern with and conclude based on experiment and observation as opposed to theory. Keywords: experiment, observation, concern and conclude. Wisdom associated with form of good like the sun. Act based on wisdom defined in many different ways. Out of these, phronesis and Sophia are two key subtypes of wisdom. Phronesis refers to practical knowledge or seeking knowledge to apply to a given circumstance, such as an understanding of people, objects, events, situations, and the willingness as well as the ability to apply perception, judgment and action. Sophia, transcendent wisdom or the ultimate nature of reality or truth. Wisdom, right judgment to think and act, allow us to see, perceive. Socrates on Hypatia's life, self-possession of manner, which she acquired in consequence of the cultivation of her mind, on account of her extraordinary dignity and virtue. Socrates 11 secrets to memorize things quicker than others. 1. Try to understand, logic, use tables. 2. Learn most necessary information. 3. Serial position effects, key parts at beginning and end. 4. Switch attention /rest. 5. Learn opposite things, example day and night. 6. Build mind power, imagination. 7. Use nail words, related things, make stories. 8. Form connections. 9. Use recorder and listen. 10. Visualize, use body language. 11. Choose best materials. Act based on wisdom rules for memorizing. Short-term: first repetition right after learning, second repetition after 15-20 minutes, third repetition after 6-8 hours, fourth repetition after 24 hours. Long-term: first repetition right after learning, second repetition after 20-30 minutes, third repetition after 1 day, fourth repetition after 2-3 weeks, fifth repetition after 2-3 months. How to study: read /say/record, write /say/record, listen /say/repeat, scan /say and repeat, listen /say, scan /say, listen /say, read /write, think /write. Why writing? Because it enables one to say things clearly. Why listening? Because it enables one to sense good sense. Why saying? Because it enables one to memorize or remember. Why reading? Because it enables one's understanding. Act based on wisdom. Why examination by reasoning, questioning? Because it enables one to see truth. Activities: morning: rise early, first thing is meditation, seek clarity, by examination, finish language, computer programming, or internet marketing. Activity: listen and memorize with certain tone. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want. Review all actions of previous day. Plan for the coming day in full detail. Activities on finish language, computer programming, or internet marketing. Activities on career may involve prepping Q&A, writing, recording, listening, reading, scanning, saying and thinking, etc. After breakfast: solidarity walk, only me, to render soul calm /sedate and harmonize reasoning powers. Work or gym, daily exercise, for the body is the temple of the soul and should be kept in a condition worthy of the divine occupant. Implement the plan for the day. Morning task: afternoon dining with fam or friends, at home bread and honey, veggies, fruits. Study moral disciplines, to know the difference /n right and wrong. Try to do what is right because it's right to do so, righteousness. Receive or talk to relatives and friends. Walk in company of others. Implement the plan for the day, afternoon task. Act based on wisdom. Super evening. Eat super. Implement plan for the day, evening task. Meditation, day's examination. Quote, never suffer sleep to close thy eyelids, after they going to bed, till thou hast examined by reason all thy actions for the day. Wherein have I done amiss? What have I omitted that I ought to have done? If in this examination thou findest that thou hast done amiss, reprimand thyself severely for it. And if you have done good, rejoice. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want, and in peace and quiet of the night fall asleep. If you meet one of these failures on the street, do not greet him or in any way indicate that I had once known him /her. His body appears among men but his soul is dead, let us weep for that. Discipline, silence, music, physical and moral purification, rigid cleanliness, mild asceticism, utter loyalty, common possessions, pure linen clothes, daily self-examination, self-control. Act based on wisdom. Timetable, 2nd example, morning, rise early. Preparing finish language, exam, and other exam. Listen, write, say or read. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want. Plan normal daily task. Breakfast and walk outside. Exercise or work. Implement the day's plan, morning, study, do assignments, finish language, computer programming, internet marketing. Translate, write and say from English to Finnish. Read and say. Prep questions. Afternoon dinning at public places or with friends. Study moral discipline, write and say, read and say and prep questions. Implement the day's plan, afternoon, normal daily task, check bills. Business or work. Act based on wisdom. Evening super. Implement the day's plan, evening. Read aloud. Meditation, examination, prep questions. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want. Plan for coming day in full detail. Activities on Finnish language. Step 1, morning. Pick a good book and scan, 1 hour. Step 2, afternoon, writing, 2 hour. Step 3, afternoon, prepping Q&A, 2 hour. Step 4, evening, recording what I wrote, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hour. Step 5, evening, recording prepped Q&A, involve reading, saying, scanning, listening, 2 hour. Plan for coming day in full detail. Act on computer programming. Step 1, morning. Pick a good book and scan, 2 hour. Step 2, afternoon, writing and taking notes, 1 hour. Step 3, afternoon, prepping Q&A, 2 hour. Step 4, evening, recording book, involve listening, 2 hour. Step 5, evening, recording prepped Q&A, involve reading, saying, scanning, listening or writing codes, 2 hour. Act based on wisdom. Plan for coming day in full detail. Act on internet marketing. Step 1, morning. Pick a good book and scan, 2 hour. Step 2, afternoon, writing and taking notes, 1 hour. Step 3, afternoon, prepping Q&A, 2 hour. Step 4, evening, recording book, involve listening, 2 hour. Step 5, evening, recording prepped Q&A, involve reading, saying, scanning, listening, 2 hour. Or Step 6, evening, writing philosophy, 2 hour. Step 7, evening, recording philosophy, involve reading, saying, scanning, listening, 2 hour. Quote, learn silence. With the quiet serenity of a meditative mind, listen, absorb, transcribe, and transform. Pythagoras. Wisdom, thoroughly learned, will never be forgotten. Pythagoras. Questions 1. What are the 11 secrets to memorize things quicker than others? 2. What are the rules for memorizing? 3. Why writing? 4. Why listening? 5. Why saying? 6. Why reading? 7. Why examination by reasoning, questioning? 8. What are the major disciplines in this book? Act based on wisdom. How to stay focused when you have too many ideas. 1. Know what you want. 2. Choose one thing and commit. 3. Get a little help from friends. 4. Assign a due date. Focus is saying no to 1,000 good ideas. Steve Jobs. Virtues: prudence, justice, temperance, courage, faith, hope, gratitude, charity, psyche. To breathe. Platonic soul consists of 3 parts. 1. Nous. reason, intellect, wisdom for example. Practical knowledge, Sophia i.e. the controlling part which should regulate appetites with the help of passion. 2 Thumos, spiritedness, passion virtue / vice for example courage, fear. 3 Epithumia, desire, appetite, bodily for example food, drink, sex, money, power.